Here's how you get 2 to 3 days worth of work done in 3 to 4 hours. Now, there's a book called The 4 Hour Work Week. I'm not going to go through that book, but this is something that if you're a Muslim, you'll understand this. Maybe if you're Muslim, you may not understand this. It's something I'm also learning as well. But even if you're not a Muslim, you can apply this to your own life as well. So I'm reading this book called The Barakah Effect. And this is basically the concept of being able to get more done by doing less. And one of the principles that I've learned as of lately, and it's something I used to apply, but not now. Not I wasn't doing it before, is starting your day after Fajr, right? So that means like when I mean that I don't. Fajr is basically, for those who don't know, is Fajr is the morning prayer. The morning prayer is Fajr, and that's the prayer that we do in the morning, right? So starting your day after Fajr. So what happens after Fajr? What do? You read some Quran. This is what we do. Read some Quran, do your adhkar, and then if you go all the way to Ishraq, which is another prayer, a little bit further past sunrise, then you can start your day. Or you can just start your day after reading some Quran. Typically, for me, I start my day after reading the Quran, and then I go through my work, and then for the next 3 to 4 hours, I will get a ton of work done. I will get a lot of work done. It's like a, basically, to translate, I'm because I'm not speaking to like a broader audience here. Barakah is basically like blessings. So what I mean by that is there's barakah in the mornings. And when you use that time in the morning, and this is like a lot of like millionaires and billionaires, they have their like morning routines too, right? You always hear the 5 a.m. club, right? People wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Muslims, this is what we do. Like, obviously the time changes, but when people say, "Oh, beat the sunrise," like that's what we do. That's what we do. So Muslims, we beat the sunrise, and then we start a day after we start a day after Fajr, which is in the morning, right? So I found that it's Ramadan right now, and I've been able to get like literally, I'm not exaggerating. I've been able to get like 2 to 3 days worth of work in 4 hours, right? As soon as once it's like, usually I'll start around like 7:30, 8 a.m. And then once it hits like noon, right? Or even 11 a.m., noon, like 12:30 p.m. I usually try to wrap a little bit before Dhuhr, like maybe like 30 minutes before Dhuhr, right? Which is basically another prayer for translation. I realized, whoa, you got a lot done. Like I got pretty much everything, all my tasks are done, and I even got to work on my own personal project. We live in the society that we live in now. It's like when you work like 9 to 5 or you work a certain amount of hours, they expect you to work those amount of hours. But a lot of times, especially if you're working in an office, you're not working all that time. Even like, yes, you have a break, but you're not working the whole time, right? I used to work at a place, and we used to buy and sell Apple products, right? And I was at the place the whole time, right? I was at the location, and although I worked really hard, a lot of the work that I did was like, it was basically like 2 to 3 hours worth of work. And obviously we had the location there so people can actually buy the stuff, they can come sell to us. But it was like 2 to 3 hours worth of work. But because you're there for 8 hours, you're kind of like stretching it, right? So that's kind of how it is. A lot of the times we're actually just stretching 2 to 3 hours of work in 8 hours, especially if you work in an office, all right? And you'll notice this as you start like build a business and this and that. You'll realize that like you have a lot. Your time is really, really valuable, and it's something that I'm also learning myself. Your time is very, very valuable. So utilize the mornings. Start your day in the morning. If you're Muslim, do your adhkar, do your fajr. If you need to do ishraq, do ishraq, right? And then start your day after that. If you're not Muslim, then maybe look at the fajr time, that like the morning prayer, or look at sunrise, right? Look at what time the sunrise is, and then wake up before sunrise, and then start your day after that, right? I know a lot of people like do breath work and this and that. That's up for discussion. I'll let you be the judge of that. But basically, start your day after that. Don't sleep after fajr, right? Start your day after fajr, and then if you need to take a nap, you can take a nap in the afternoon. You could take a nap in the afternoon, maybe like an hour, 30 minutes, whatever, maybe, right? And there's so much barakah in that. If you can do that, I guarantee you that you're gonna get a lot of work. Even if you're studying, right? When I was in a boarding school, we used to read the Quran, right? We used to read it at night, and then in the morning, in the first thing in the morning after Fajr, we would read our basically our sabak, which is our lesson, right? Because that's when we were the most fresh. And when you're in the morning, that's when you're the most fresh. That's why they say eat the frog, do the hardest thing in the morning, right? Do the hardest thing when you start your day, because as you're dealing with your day, your energy level is lower. And the thing is, you don't. I'll talk about this in another video, maybe like about caffeine and all that stuff. Is you don't need caffeine to like get you up like that when you start your day. There's a lot of things that you can do naturally, which I'll talk about in a future video if you want to see it. But yeah, that's really it. Start your day after Fajr, before sunrise, for those of you who are not Muslim, and watch the benefits you'll get from your day. And you can still keep working if you want to. You can still go through your day after that. When it's noon, 1 p.m., you can still work after that. For me, I find that I usually wrap at around 2 to 3, because I'll have calls at around 2 p.m. That's usually how I am. But at 3 o'clock, I don't have any more calls. So sometimes in the evening, I'll pop in and out. I'll check some messages. But even then, like from there, it's like I did a lot. I've done enough that I've done just as much as I need to do. And you're gonna get a lot done, right? You can't get everything done. That's a normal thing. That's when you may have to delegate, which we can talk about in another video. But start utilizing that. Anyways, if you like to check out my newsletter, I have a new newsletter that I have. It's basically how to optimize your mind, your body, and your time using Islamic principles. So check that out, newsletter. I'm planning to do once a week for now and see how that goes. And yeah, and then I also have a course coming out as well. So check that out. I hope this was beneficial to you. Let me know if you have experience with this. If so, great. If not, try it out and let me know if it works for you. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget to stay authentic. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.